We begin tonight with the federal government back open for business after a record-long shutdown.
To be exact, it lasted 43 days. A late vote last night in the House of Representatives and a signature by the president ended the stalemate for now. It only funds the government through the end of January, giving lawmakers a runway to make a long-term deal.
The temporary spending bill had to first go through the Senate, where, in an interesting turn, Virginia's two Democratic senators split their votes. One issue Democrats wanted to address were extensions for premium tax credits through the Affordable Care Act, which you might know as Obamacare. An extension did not happen, but a future vote was promised.
So what are these health care credits? Well, they were introduced in 2014 to help lower medical insurance costs for low and middle income families. They are specifically for people who are not already part of a plan where a third party, like an employer, covers part of the cost. The credits were expanded in 2021 during COVID to help struggling families. Now, the expansion is set to expire at the end of December.
And this means people who have benefited from lower health care costs for 4 years could see their health insurance costs rise considerably, even doubling by some estimates. The Congressional Budget Office says this could cause millions to drop health insurance altogether. Senate leadership has agreed to hold an extension vote in mid-December, and meanwhile, there has been no such promise made in the House, which is creating some uncertainty.
And this is where we're going to bring in our WDBJ7 reporter, Kyra Willis, who has been looking into the local impacts if there is no extension.
So, Kyra, what have you learned after speaking to some of our neighbors in the hometown?
Well, first and foremost, good evening, Mitch and Kate. You know, it's the fear of the unknown. That's what I'm hearing from most residents in the Roanoke Valley. I spoke with a cosmetologist and a woman living with multiple sclerosis who say they're worried about having to make some difficult decisions because of this possible increase.
It's just a really, really hard time.
Katisha Rose Tyler is a cosmetologist and co-owner of Z Salon and Spa in Roanoke. She was paying out of pocket for health care before the Affordable Care Act came about.
Without the Affordable Care Act, I would have been done for, you know, and so it's very, you know, it scares me to think that my health insurance for me and my two children might be more than my mortgage per month.
But she's not the only one who's worried. She tells me her clients have expressed concerns with their own health care, and if they can't afford to see her, that ends up having an effect on her own income.
And even from behind the chair, I have clients who are going through the same things, and it's like, I may not be able to do my color every 4 weeks. I might have to do every other month because I have to budget. And so that affects my budget, my bottom line even more. The people that are around me, right, and that I service, if they're experiencing the same hardships, then, you know, it trickles up.
People with disabilities are also feeling the effects. Suzanne O'Connell is a woman living with multiple sclerosis who tells me if people with chronic illnesses can't afford health care, they may have to choose between buying food or life-saving medication.
Our disease-modifying drugs for MS average over $100,000 a year. If I didn't have that medication, I would not be able to function, you know. So I think that quality health care makes a difference in affordable quality health care makes all the difference in the world in your quality life.
Now, one thing O'Connell also expressed was the stress caused by this uncertainty, something she says can lead to exacerbations that would further impact her health. Kate and Mitch, I think it's safe to say that most Americans here in the Roanoke Valley and beyond may have to make some tough calls.